Stupid People by Jamie White.
That should be shot.
Yes.
If memory serves.
First of all, my girlfriends and I, which was just a whole America's Funniest Home Video in itself, moved my treadmill from my garage back into my living room.
Right. So you would only watch TV while on your treadmill.
Right. Getting Havasu ready, Dan.
Havasu ready, absolutely.
Although I bought myself another week because I'm not going Memorial Day, thank God.
When is Memorial Day?
In 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks? You'll be Havasu
because
ready.
I decided to see Big Bob. Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. And so anyway, another week. Yeah, what?
Okay, but you have a lake there. You could get Bob out on the boat. You guys could go nuts, drink beer, scream at people.
Yeah, but
you're not Bob ready.
But remember, in the Midwest, I'm ready.
Oh, okay, that's true.
In the Midwest, I'm anorexic. Are you kidding me?
I've said, it's so funny, you and I have the exact same stories. It's like, okay, in California, I am so on the B list. But in Wyoming, I'm the Beatles.
Yeah, it's true. It is true. It is absolutely true. So anyway, so I'm trying to get Havasu ready, and so I'm flipping through the channels, and there's Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Right.
Oh my God! So the first contestant, right? I think it's like a joke, like it's gonna be a candid camera. So they ask him first question for $100 or $1,000. Okay. On your body, where would a nurse take your pulse? Your wrist, your neck, your leg, or your head?
Okay.
He wanted to poll the audience.
No.
Yes, he did.
Well, because if it said your wrist and your neck, I can see being scared that it's a trick question because both are fine. But when they said head, now you know, let's go, okay, the wrist.
Yeah. So he had to poll the audience. All of them said C. Then the next question comes up, and it says, let me think. I forget what it was. It was like, I know what it was. What state borders both the Gulf of Mexico and Mexico?
Okay.
And it said like Arizona, California, Nevada, or Texas.
Right.
And he said, can I get 50-50?
Oh, my God.
I know.
Geography, aside from sports, is my worst subject.
Me too. Yes, Jack Elongation.
You can ask my wife. All I do is scream at Super Millionaire. You idiot. You wasted a lifeline.
I know.
Everybody knows that.
You know what? Regis yelled that at me.
Yeah.
Regis called me. He goes, you knew that answer. You have wasted a lifeline.
And then on the same question, he phoned a friend.
Oh,
So he's over.
And he's at $2,000.
He's at $2,000. And then I was too angry because I have problems. So I just flipped and I came back and there was a woman on. So I must have been eliminated.
Good.
Oh my God.
How do they get on?
That's what I want to know. I mean, don't they screen them and stuff? Because like Wheel of Fortune, they have to solve all kinds of puzzles.
Not on Has Been Millionaire. Sherman Hemsley, I think the first question, because he had never gotten on yet, was who played whatever character he played? And the answer was his name. And he sat there and looked.
Well, that's what I was thinking is maybe the guy was so nervous.
Yeah, it is nerve-wracking.
But he's going to be heckled so bad. Are you
when
kidding?
When he gets home.
Hey, can I take your pulse? Yeah. Hey, you need us to make sure you're still living from that, I mean, he's going to just be heckled. Then there's his wife in the audience like, oh, no. Everybody, and his kids, oh, my God, my dad's stupid.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Well, then there's another story in the news about stupid people.
Which one? Because there's some great, well, not necessarily great, but really interesting news today.
Well, this one is about a couple that couldn't conceive children, couldn't have children.
They should call Huntington Reproductive Center.
Yes, they should.
They really should.
They actually did.
Really?
Yes.
Huntington Reproductive?
Yes.
Awesome.
So they went there, and they're like, we can't have children. So the nice people at Huntington Reproductive did some tests, and they came up completely fertile, both of them. And so they said, well, how often are you having sex? And I quote, when we asked them how often they had sex, they looked blank and said, what do you mean?
Okay, even Huntington can't help you.
It says, we're not talking about people with any type of mental retardation, but a couple who were brought up in a religious environment who were simply unaware. After 8 years of marriage, one of the physical requirements necessary to procreate. They didn't know this. They didn't know this.
They didn't know they had to have sex.
They didn't know this. They were in a sheltered religious environment their entire lives. It says the 30-year-old wife and her 36-year-old husband are now being given sex therapy lessons. They're over at a university. And now the university is undertaking a study to try to find out if there are more couples with a lack of sex education. They've never seen anything like it.
Oh, my God.
Is that crazy?
That's crazy.
Especially with the media and how we're bombarded with sex and.
But it almost seems like you got to remember we got here somehow. Cave people knew naturally how to do this.
Well, right, and animals and.
Right.
I know it's just funny though because you can remember how you thought that people became pregnant the first time, right? Like what you thought.
I don't know if I can remember that.
My neighbor Lori Robinson, we were playing with our Matchbox cars, and she told me that if you took that thing and like put it around this area, I'd get pregnant.
My wife thought if you, how do you say this without getting in trouble? Went number one, and then the boy on using the facilities like regular number.
Oh yeah.
Going to the bathroom, and then the boy went number one on that. Then that would get you pregnant.
P on P?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny. But
Yeah,
it kind
that's
of,
what she
you know, if you're little, you don't
I don't
know.
remember if I ever like believed in the stork or anything like that.
Oh, yeah, the stork. I forgot about the damn stork.
Yeah, the stork, the Cabbage Patch.
He just flies on past my house. I shoot him.
Well, not
Down with your
anymore.
bad self.
There's a chance you're going to trap FP again.
Oh, yeah, there's any chance of that at all.
Hey, you take a guy to the NASCAR, and in several societies, you're already married.
That's true. That's close. That's as close as you're going to get with somebody. Take him to the NASCAR.
Yeah.
Oh my
Once you've worn khakis to the pits,
Yes.
you're as good as married.
And you have to wear closed-toed shoes.
Well, there's a lot of stuff flying around and hot stuff.
I know, but no jeans. I think that jeans at NASCAR. And I called the guy back. I go, it's NASCAR.
You called the guy and said you wanted to wear jeans?
I'm like, yeah. I go, they're Armani's.
Did they let you?
He goes, I know, it's just a rule. I'm like, it's NASCAR. How can you tell me I can't wear jeans in the pits? That's crazy.
Did you end up wearing jeans?
I wore khakis.
You two dressed alike?
No, actually, I wore those drawstring linen pants from The Gap. Because I love The Gap.
I love the Gap.
I love The Gap, too. Except for there's a guy in the Marina Del Rey Gap that's way too happy. And like, can I see your credit card? Well, hello, Jamie White. I know.
I called the Gap here the other day. I told you when I went in with my teenage niece and her friend, and I didn't realize they were wearing pajamas.
I don't remember that.
I was going to Monica's wedding, and I was too fat for all my clothes, and I refused to buy fat clothes. You know, I want to get skinny again.
Right.
But nothing dressy fit. So I picked up my niece and her friend who were babysitting while I was at the wedding, and I had to whip by the Gap really quick and run in. And I said, get Dante and come in with me. I don't want you guys waiting out in the car with Dante. Come on in real quick. And they come in, and one of them's holding Dante, but both young ladies are wearing pajama bottoms.
No, they're probably sweat bottoms that are
No,
cute.
they're their pajamas.
They're pajamas?
I asked. I said, why are you wearing your pajamas? They said, we're in a hurry. We're just going to come play.
You can wear anything now.
But
California
you know what?
casual.
This was why one of the reasons I love the Gap. I called them in advance on the way in, and I said, hi, I know this is weird, but I'm going to a wedding, and I'm really running late. Could you pick out 2 pairs of black pants, one 32-30 and one 34-30, because I don't know exactly how fat I've gotten. And when I got to the Gap, they were waiting for me. She'd pin them out and put them on the counter for me.
Well, the other guy will say, hi, Danny Bonaducci, how are you? Hey, have a nice day. Hey, what?
Yesterday at Fuddruckers, I gave the guy my credit card.
Did you scare me with that word, Jack?
And from that point on, it was, any cheese on that, Jack? You want
Jack cheese.
Right, you want a side with that, Jack?
Mustard Jack? Yeah,
Use
where
my
they take
name
your name? I know.
like 8 times.
Where they're friends with you.
I like
Yeah.
it. And when
I don't like it, Danny.
When I watch 60 Minutes, Jamie, I never trust the guy that says the interviewer's name too much. Well, let me tell you, Mike, we never did that to anybody,
I know,
Mike.
that sounds
and-
like Gap representative.
Yeah. All right, aside from that one guy, we love the Gap. Huh.
We had a little accident there.
A little miss accident?
What is he, a scud?
Scott!
Scud.
What is that again?
Stupid Club of Danny!
You are so loud today.
I know.
Caffeine?
What's different than any other day?
Today you seem to have an amazing amount of energy
You know
and
what?
what?
I called him on that yesterday.
You
I
did?
said, you are being so loud today.
Yeah, like there's
There's
some-
an extra added attraction.
Yeah, there's
in the
a little
loudness.
blue pill that
I
you're
know
taking.
what it is.
I know what it is.
All carb diet he's on.
Yes.
No, doesn't that usually make you go the other way and like really down?
I just eat
All
bread.
carb?
Yeah.
Oh,
Did
all
you-
carbs. That'll do it. I
No,
thought no carbs.
actually, did you see what Avril Lavigne said?
You know, I just missed the words of wisdom of Avril Lavigne.
Hell, that sounded dumb, didn't it? Well, it's just making news, so I thought it went here because I didn't know where I was going to fit it in.
If it has to do with food, it goes here.
It says, let's see here. Avril Lavigne says the lyrics to her songs were so angry because she was eating too many carbs. See?
See, it goes right here.
It says the complicated singer is out promoting her new album, blah, blah, blah. And it says, I was eating bad stuff. Lots of sugar and carbs, junk food all the time. It was making me very irritated.
It's the Twinkie defense. She's going to go shoot a mayor.
I spent some time with a nutritionist, and I learned I had low blood sugar. Now I eat accordingly. It says the carbs, I guess, were just making her nuts.
You know what, Avril? The pissed off girl thing worked okay for Alanis.
Yeah, she didn't have anything about her diet.
Right.
She wasn't, what's that, milk intolerable? What is that?
Lactose intolerant.
Yeah, that one. She wasn't that. Anyway. All right, I'm going to put that over there. Hey, by the way, we found you a job, Stench.
What?
There's a lack of clowns.
Oh, I hate clowns.
I hate clowns.
Clowns should die.
Is that the other person you wanted to die?
No, fast food workers that screw up my order at the Taco Bell drive-thru.
Dude, at any
die.
fast food drive-thru where
No,
they skip your order,
I've got one right by my house because I only have 2 drive-thrus completely, and one place always jacks my order every time, and it sends the fat guy into fury.
Okay, can I ask you a question, fat guy in fury?
Yes.
After how many times would you say this has happened to you?
Every time I go there, which is like once a week.
Okay. At what point does it come your responsibility
Forgive.
for not watching, not checking your order
But
before
no,
you leave?
I check it, and then I got to go back. But I don't like to do that. I want it right when I
No,
order
when
it.
they hand it to you, why don't you look in the bag and make sure it's what you ordered?
And then they got to remake it. I
I'm
do that
playing
now.
Pong right
It's
here
stupid.
with my head.
I want
Go
no
inside,
lettuce or
lazy fat guy.
tomatoes. No, that would blow the
Well,
lazy
what do you
fat
do
guy
now?
thing.
It was Pong when it was just me and him, but now Jack jumped in. What game you playing now?
I don't know. I'm stuck in that corner. Just why not? I don't know. Stop eating, dumbass.
Well, I can make it myself, but that would blow the whole lazy fat guy thing.
Well, you know, it's funny because I go to Taco Bell,
Mm-hmm.
never have a problem.
You probably, I'm a bitch. Remember, I'm very much the custom
that's
orderer.
right.
I'm very particular.
So this is all you.
Well, if I get a Taco Supreme, I get it without tomatoes, and they never put tomatoes on it.
Yeah, but if he gets a Taco Supreme, he wants it without tomatoes. He wants
No
97
lettuce,
sprinkles
no
of cheese.
tomatoes.
No lettuce, no tomatoes, and he
Hold
wants you
the
to
lettuce, hold
twist,
the
spin
tomatoes,
around
hold
3
the
times before you put it in the bag.
No sauce, but sour cream.
See, I mean that's not drive-through food. That's you being a bitch food.
Yeah, that's you going to a nice restaurant,
Hey,
sitting down and having made the order.
My other Taco Bells get it perfect every time, like flawless. The one by
Go
my
to
house?
the other one.
Yeah,
They
go to
hate
the other
me.
one.
Go to the other one.
You don't understand why I
Just
live
go to the other one, goddammit.
I live in BFE.
He lives in BFE.
To give,
What?
I don't
Are
remember.
you
what
gonna
it
do
is.
that all day too?
It was, what was it? Fat guy in Fury. Yeah. So it was forgive. And yes, the answer is yes.
You're gonna make initials all day long today?
Yes, I am.
Acronyms.
I was going to tell you something else.
that is?
Oh, yeah. I'm worried about that Taco Bell over here, by the way.
Why?
Which one?
This one here in Burbank. There's a news story today that a lot of the restaurants are cutting back on napkins. That they're going to make dispensers that only give you 1 napkin at a time because I guess, you know.
I think that might be smart. I grabbed 20 times more than I need.
Right. That's what I'm worried about. This Burbank Taco Bell, they put all their sauce in a big bin.
Yeah.
Now, see,
And that's not a clock.
I don't overgrab the.
I do. I just grab handfuls and I stick it in the bag and I think, my God, I'm taking too much. I worry, that's all. To play that, sitting around, talking about sore nipples.
Yeah, of course.
Hey, I never know.
To tell you the truth, I don't know.
Sore nipples seems offensive.
Yeah, I guess because it's out of context. They're talking about breastfeeding.
Yeah, we don't know that. I'm offended. Anyway, there's this horrible story in the news, and you knew about it yesterday, about that girder that fell off of
Cut that SUV in
half
half.
at C470 and I-70, right smack dab in the middle of Colorado.
Like a movie, because the front of the car continued to travel
Yeah.
and ended with something like 150 feet away from the back of the car.
And it was a whole family, and they
died,
perished. And they said there were no skid marks, which tells you, and I don't know if I get any peace in this, but I guess I do, because that means they never saw it coming and they just instantly died.
Right.
One woman says that she saw people stop and look into the Durango. It was a Durango, and just turn around and they just walked away. Like, because there's no way you could help these people.
Right.
So they just saw it and then walked away. And I was saying, oh my God, the person I feel sorry for, well, everybody, by the way, but is the 911 operator. She, and I'm sure, you know, you get all these messages and cell phones and all this stuff, so it's not her fault. But here's how it went. She forwarded the call to the Colorado State Police. The bridge, C-470 over I-70, it looks like they hung a new I-beam girder in the last couple of days. Well, it's rolled, and it looks like it's structurally unsafe over the freeway. However, the dispatcher misinterpreted the sentence and asked, "There's a sign hanging down?"
Oh, God.
The caller replied, "Well, it looks like it rolled toward the existing bridge a good 2 or 3 feet. And it's over C-470 and I-70," the dispatcher asked. "Yes, it's right over the eastbound side of I-70. It may not be a big deal, but I've done bridge construction in the past, and it doesn't look right." The dispatcher, who thought that a freeway sign, not a steel girder, was hanging down, passed that misinformation along to the Colorado Department of Transportation. It says, "I need you guys to check out something. Apparently there's a sign, that's hanging down." Now, this is bizarre. So what's equivalent to our Caltrans? Their Caltrans it's CDOT, goes out, and they find a sign in the middle of the road. How odd is that?
God.
It's actually to the side of the road. So they call back and they say, "Oh, we found a sign in the median on C-470. There's no traffic hazard." And it says, 32 minutes later, a family of 3 was crushed to death when the unstable 40-ton girder fell on their car. Oh
my God.
Is that crazy? Especially that they found a
sign.
Yeah. So
that's a sign.
Yeah.
I don't know of what.
Something weird. I don't know what that means either. But this family had moved from New York to Colorado to actually Evergreen.
Probably to get away from the big city.
Yeah, that's exactly why. My favorite place, which is Evergreen. And everybody's just like devastated, obviously, about this. But I don't know what it's like to be the caller, and say, "There's a girder hanging down. It looks wrong."
I think that the caller is better off internally, if you will, less conflicted than the 911 operator.
Yeah. But it's not her fault. The cell phone, the cracking.
Right, no, she repeated what she believed she heard.
I mean, unlike the one cell phone call that the guy made in Las Vegas. How many calls?
Right.
36 phone calls?
The murderer's here.
36 phone calls to dispatch. They're like, "Can we put, this is a non-emergency. We need to transfer you."
Yeah. No.
So at least she
did her best.
Yeah. So she's been put on paid leave. Yes, Jack, elongation?
Well, not the steel girder, but I told you the other day at Sizzler. Remember I had something kind of similar happen where I got out of my car.
What, a steak fell on you?
No, and I noticed in the car next to me there were all these open alcohol containers.
Right. Oh, yeah.
And I called the cops, and they came out and looked in the car. I
well,
watched
Jack. All right, let me explain to Danny. All right, so Jack took the lovely and talented hot supermodel of the world, Sparkles, his wife, to Sizzler.
Well, he loves Sizzler.
Right, we go all the time.
Right.
They love it. We've worked out our issues at the Burbank Sizzler. We're welcome there. Everybody gets along.
Good.
And they went for the Fresh Tastics food bar.
Right.
And Jack pulls up. Now, Jack's a dad now, so now Jack's a snitch.
Right.
Which is different than a stench.
Right.
And so he sees this car that has all this alcohol inside the front seat, right?
It was one of those supersized Heineken bottles, like half empty in the drink holder, an empty bottle of Bacardi on the floor, and another empty beer bottle, but up in the front.
Oh.
And I'm like, because I was pulling the baby out of the back of the car, it takes forever, and I'm looking around and I noticed this, and I'm like, this is odd.
And Jack said,
"That is odd."
Jack said to himself, "Hey, I used to be that guy.
Right.
But now I'm going to tell on you.
Right, because now I have a baby.
Now I have a human being to be responsible for.
I'm with you.
Right. We all are, yeah.
So I called Burbank Police, and I'm like, I don't know if this is a big deal or not, but it's in the drink holder, open in the front, open container, and it's half empty. It looks suspicious to me. So
I would have said half full.
Okay, right.
She's an optimistic drunk.
Exactly.
I'd have said half empty and been on the way to the store.
And so they come up and they look in the car and then leave.
I'm sitting by the window. He looks in the car and leaves. And so then I go on with my meal. We're sitting by the window, and I watch as these people come out. And by the way, their table was covered with Heinekens. They've been drinking.
Sizzler has alcohol?
They have beer and wine.
It's crazy.
And they come out and they put their baby in the back of this car, get in the car and drive away. So I don't know whatever happened.
So they drank on the way to Sizzler. They drank at Sizzler, and then they strapped their little tiny baby in the car.
Yep.
Can I ask you a question?
See, and you tried to do the right thing.
Because these guys sound like the worst trash in the world. Did they look like it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, they looked like trash.
You could have, if I would have lined up all the people in Sizzler, you would have said those are the people
well,
with the Heineken
and
in the
let me
car.
ask
and
you
a
this.
baby in the car.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. If the Burbank police had done something about this family, didn't you look like the family that called?
Well, what do I care? I'm
Yeah.
gonna be a guy who stopped.
I know, but were you a little scared? Like, oh my God, they're gonna come kick my ass.
when I was scared when the cops left.
Yeah.
And I figured, what if they saw the cops out there looking in their car, and now I'm the guy who
Right.
called, and there's no cops around.
Yeah.
Could you have beat up the drunk dad? No, big drunk dad.
Two big drunk guys, two
Aw.
guys, and a wife and a baby.
Oh.
Oh, no, they would have killed me.
Let's say they ran into something and the baby dies. Do you forgive yourself?
No, he
I
called the
did my
cops.
part. Yeah,
I know, but you also could have been more proactive. I guess that's that acne medication.
I guess I could have been like the guy in Vegas who followed him. or
Kept
whatever.
calling. Yeah, he
Right.
called 36 times, Jack,
Right.
until the guy was arrested, the murderer.
I'm gonna beat your ass.
I think you did your duty. You know, I hope nothing terrible happened, but you can, no matter what, sleep at night.
Right.
Yeah, still, I don't know, because of one guy, he called 36 times to dispatch, even went home and checked his computer to make sure that the profile fit that guy, and because of him, there's a murderer that's locked up.
See, I have a problem playing this game, and that is one, too much information. I've done terrible things in my lifetime.
That you can't forgive
But
yourself
no,
for.
and that's the other problem I have. Besides the fact that I'd have to pick one out of more than a handful of terrible deeds, I have pretty much forgiven myself for that whole lifestyle.
I have one that is really sad, and I cannot forgive myself for it. I mean, at all. And I think about it a lot, but I don't want to tell you because then it'll be sad. And then this show won't be funny.
Are you going to tell us?
I don't know. I got to think about it.
We'll be right here.
You will?
Yeah.
All right, great news. I guess I give kudos to Stench because he was trying to keep it happy, maybe.
Right.
Because we were playing the game Semi-Sweep in the Nation called, Hey, I Can't Forgive Myself for This. And, it's not your fault, or maybe it was, whatever, but you just can't let it go. And
Right.
Stench, at 5 years old, puked all over his grandma, and he said he sprayed it all over her.
Who hasn't puked on his grandma?
I know. I'm like, that's not one. So you're telling me
No,
now.
I mean Stench's grandma. Who hasn't puked on Stench's grandma?
It was hot. I mean, he's how old? Like 40?
35, right?
He's 35 years old, and so he's telling me he can't forgive himself at 5?
Well, then off the air, he said some really depressing, nasty things that I think were a smart move not to say on the radio.
Yeah, those were ugly.
Yeah.
And dark.
I beat a guy half to death and left him there in a pile of blood.
Yeah, and
That
I
was bad.
beat up one guy till his eyeball popped out, and I left him.
Yeah.
That was a bad one.
That's bad.
And we were chased by cops while buying drugs. Yeah. That was a bad one, too.
Wait, I've been chased by buying drugs.
No, he was actually chased by the dope dealer because he bought a little baggie or something. I don't know how.
They gave him $1.
He gave him $1 for
Instead
a bag
of
of.
20 or whatever.
For-
I gave a guy Xerox 20s once.
Oh. There's a guy in my local paper who he went to a really nice restaurant and he sat down and had a great meal and then tried to pay for it with Monopoly money.
Because he was retarded or because...
No, because he didn't have any money. He was homeless.
Wow.
They arrested him.
Well, they do the old cockroach in my salad trick.
I'm not sure. He had Monopoly money on him, I guess.
That leads to a mental problem, not just trying to steal dinner.
There was something else. There was another story in the news at the bottom of the CNN about, something about Monopoly. I can't remember.
I really have, when I say this,
What was
I
that?
really have,
Go ahead.
okay, forgiven myself for most of the things I did with
Have you
drugs or
really,
alcohol.
or
Yeah.
did you just say you did?
I
So
think,
you feel mentally better.
I think I have. I mean, it's part of a program I work, and I try and work on myself and stuff like that. And one of the first things you really have to do, because you can't just walk around self-loathing all the time.
Yeah, that would suck.
Yeah.
Jack
so
knows.
I have driven on more than one occasion drunk with my children in the car.
Oy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously nothing happened, made it home safe and sound. So what? The irresponsibility and the things you have done.
That's as bad as it gets for the Bonadouche?
No.
All right.
But that is, well, yeah.
Publicly.
I guess that my children, that I was haphazard with my children's safety
I'm
is
sure
probably the
there
worst.
are other.
Oh, there's 100 others. But that's, if I still feel bad about anything I did while drinking or using, it would be driving with my kids in the car.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you can't get over. I only have one, and I just think about it, and it's not good.
Are you going to share with the class?
I'm gonna think about that too. Jack, did you share yours?
Which one?
Things you can't get over? Oh, yours
The
is
goose socks.
Yours is stupid too.
Yeah. Well, because I was trying to keep it nice. I have
Okay.
one I feel really guilty about that was like almost criminal that I don't want to get involved.
I have
Okay.
100 that I feel better
Yeah,
if it were
because
criminal.
here we can't change our names.
Right.
You guys can change your names. We can't.
But
Hi, my name is Linda.
So let's just say myself and we'll call her Shiny. Went to Target the other day. And when we go to Target, we buy all kinds of stuff. And we put the baby carrier in the little seat part where she sleeps.
Right, it's perfect.
So I load up the cart with all this stuff. We check out, and we get to the car to unload it. There's still one pair of duck socks that didn't get put up onto the conveyor belt that were underneath the thing. And my wife still tortures me feels guilty that we didn't pay for the $1.99 duck socks.
You didn't pay for the duck socks?
You're a duck thief.
I know. I get reminded all the time. My wife will be like, you didn't pay for these are the duck socks that you stole. And then she'll put them on the baby and go, these are the socks that your daddy stole.
Oh, if she feels so bad, she should take them back.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I stopped her. I'm not going back in there to pay for the $1.99 duck socks. We have to get home.
The Hyatt on Sunset, they used to call it the Rock and Roll Hyatt. Maybe they still do. Well, before they improved it, I don't know what the deal is now. There are just stacks and stacks and stacks of towels up by the pool on the roof. So I just filled my suitcase with them. Like 20 of them.
You're a towel stealer?
Check this out. Gretchen made me return them. I had to go back to the hotel and go, here, I stole these towels. I'm really sorry. So the only thing I feel bad about is being a wuss enough to let my wife push me around.
You should.
Then I had to go back in and apologize for stealing their towels. And they laughed at me.
I'm sure they did and pointed. Because you were the idiot that wanted those yucky towels.
They were nice towels. They all matched.
I know, but there's something still creepy about everybody rubbing their body parts all over the towels.
Well, they weren't for personal use, actually.
What were they for?
I was shipping them over to the Caribbean.
For who? What? You
I used to
towel smuggler?
I used to own property over there, and I'd rent it out. And matching towels in the everything in the Caribbean, nothing's made there except bananas. Everything's super expensive. So I was going to send 20 matching green pool towels to the Caribbean. And Gretchen made me return them and say I was sorry.
Wussy.
I'm sorry I stole your towels. My name is Danny, and I'm a bad man.
Jack's a DSS. A
Duck
duck sock stealer. I don't know if is it regrets or is it things like, is it guilt? Is it regrets or guilt that we're talking about? Because let me tell you something, because here's the difference before you answer, sorry. I have a regret that my mom didn't get to see me be a mom.
Right.
But I don't have guilt about it. I mean, I regret the fact that, and I'm not like crying, I just have something in my throat.
I think different thing. I think that you have regrets about that or whichever one you just felt about that.
I think it's regrets, but it's not guilt.
Right. Had you had the opportunity.
Well, there's where I go into that.
And said, you know what, Mom, I'm busy. I'm going to Cancun for the weekend. Then you would be playing the game that you've set up.
Well, and it's funny because I think my regret goes in then to one of my guilts that I will talk about, and that is the reason why my mother didn't get to see me be a mom is because I had an affair. And then basically wasted my life in a 5-year relationship that went nowhere. And so that's the reason is that my mom didn't see me be a mom is because of my affair, which I have guilt about. So, anyway, but that wasn't my sad one.
But you know what, though? That's not your sad one?
No.
What's your sad one?
I can't tell you all. Be sad. Anyway, what were you going to say?
I don't remember
now. But this is all because of this horrible tragedy that happened at C-470 and I-70 in Colorado. And the dispatcher misunderstood the caller, the 911 call, saying, I think there's a girder that looks like it's, swaying or weighing or whatever. And she thought they said a sign.
Right.
And then she passed along and said there's a sign hanging down. And then oddly enough, the Caltrans find a sign in the median that wasn't a traffic hazard. So I just wonder, what it's like to be her right now.
Bad.
Yeah. I mean, but it's not her fault. You
No.
know, she just misheard it. But
But I can obsess about the most bizarre stuff and
Yes,
feel
I know.
riddled with guilt.
yes.
And I don't mean to make fun of Stench. Well, I'm not, but I don't mean for you guys to make fun of Stench.
I want to.
But remember I told you the other day that he called to make sure I wasn't dead, that I actually arrived in
Yes,
Vegas?
because he loves you and cares
A
about
couple
you.
hours later, when it was far too late to call, I realized I hadn't said appropriately, you know what, thanks. That's really sweet of you. And I couldn't call him back because it was too late. And it really bothered me like all night that I didn't say thank you very much for checking on me. That was nice of you.
I think you're playing a different game.
No, I'm just saying
obsessive compulsive.
The stuff that you can feel bad about is fairly random.
That's true. I mean, but the ones that you can't let you forgive yourself for, you're like, okay, you know what? That wasn't my fault. And then you're like, yes, it was.
Yeah. No, you've got to, as you say, own it.
Yeah. So
before you can forgive yourself for it. If you try and make excuses for what you have done, you'll never forgive yourself.
Right. And that's where I'm at now. I make excuses for every action I take. That's bad.
You do?
And I even made excuses for my affair. Like, well, I was living here and my husband was living in Colorado and I was lonely. I needed the work. That wasn't it. I had that one on. No, but, I make excuses for my actions with FP, which it's asinine what I did. But anyway, back to you guys.
It's kind of, has that improved, though?
What?
That situation. Because if it leads somewhere.
No, it will never lead anywhere.
Still?
No.
You just took him to NASCAR for just friends?
Yeah, we're just friends. It'll never be a marriage or anything.
But this is going to preclude you from getting married.
No, I don't think so, because I haven't let it. I mean, I fell in love with Builder Bob. And I never in my life thought I could fall in love with somebody.
But then FP was messing with you.
Yeah.
Remember what if? You'll always ask.
Calling all the time.
Right,
we actually called him and said, stop calling her. She's in a relationship.
Yeah, I believe also that FP was the demise of Builder Bob and I.
Right.
Because I sabotaged it.
Right.
Well, and he tried
You
to
took the
sabotage
action, but I don't think you'd have taken it had he not been
No,
back in
that's
your life.
absolutely true. Yeah. Yeah, so, whatever. Okay, let's move on.
Why are you setting up games and then not playing them?
I played. I totally played. I said I have regrets that my mom didn't get to see me be a mom, but I have guilt that I have an affair.
Do you have guilt what happened with Builder Bob because of FP?
I have regrets about it. I mean, I feel bad, and I think that I sabotaged that relationship, and
But also, that damage might not be completely done just because you're gone.
Oh, I think I've sealed the deal there, Dan.
No. I mean, the
icing on the cake was put on.
I mean that there still may be ramifications of your actions, whether you're in that relationship or not.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't remember exactly what part of this you've said on the air, but you said some things, and there was issues. You said his mom and dad still hate you.
Oh, yeah, but I mean, I won't see them.
Right. That doesn't mean that ramification is not still happening to him.
Oh, they love him. They just don't like me. So bitching around is all good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no. I mean, nothing bad will happen. I mean, they're all.
You don't think that their relationship has been altered in any way?
Oh, no, I think they're a really close family and everything. No, I think that's all good. So no, I if anything, I probably brought them closer together.
They've bonded. What do you think of Jamie? I hate her. Me too.
Yeah, it's like a united front against
Let's
me.
have a picnic.
It's true. It's like they're all for one.
And none for her.
Yeah, it's like they all unite and have a party. Like, we hate her party. The Jamie haters. Oh, whoops, I'm a little upset. Did you see what just happened?
Yes, you dropped your pen.
I know.
Stop the
I
world.
have to get it. Tim, hi.
How you doing?
Hi, we're good. How are you?
I'm all right.
Yeah, what's going on?
I was just calling. I've been listening to all these comments and stuff on the C470 accident.
Yeah.
And there's just so much rumor and everything like that. It's driving me nuts. I was actually third on the scene, and
You're a police officer?
yes, sir.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. I'm actually an ex-Marine, and this is probably one of the nastiest things I've seen as far as accidents go. I can't comment too much on everything, but as far as the girder didn't fall on the car, I don't know if you guys were aware of that.
No, we weren't. We thought it did.
No, it fell right in front of the car. So the car was traveling. We estimated it about 70 miles an hour, and it fell.
Well, why do all the news stories I have say it split the car in half?
It split the car in half like a hamburger. Like, the top part came off, while the bottom part continued on down the road.
Oh, so it's not the front and back, it's the top and bottom.
Correct.
So it's
So
hit it.
So if you can
they
imagine,
hit it head on, like
a clothesline, basically.
Yep, I gotcha.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's not how I read that at all.
Yeah, and everyone thinks that it fell on it, and by the pictures, you'd think that it fell on it.
Yeah, it does. Like the pictures look like it fell on the car.
Yeah,
Right,
I've
but
seen
as
enough
you
bad
can see,
pictures lately.
They also show other pictures where they show part of the wreckage, like down the road. Well, that's the top part of the car.
Oh, it is? Because it looks like it's half. But it's
Right.
it is half, but it's the
top
it's horizontal instead of wait.
Correct. You see the top
it's
part.
like yeah, okay.
Right. you
Wow.
see the
So
top
Tim,
part.
let me ask you something. Now, do you ever get over this vision in your head?
You know, man.
I mean, don't comment about what you saw, but I mean, is this one of these things that you're going to relive every minute, every second, every moment?
You know, yeah,
Yeah.
it will. It'll rank up there.
Yeah.
I thought I've seen the worst of the worst, but that's bad. You don't realize how bad it is until it's normal people. Basically, is the way I look at it. It's normal
Oh,
people.
that's interesting.
It's people that are trying to live their life here. You know, they're already free, and then they're actually moving here to actually get away from things, and
Yeah.
and then this type of tragedy happens.
And they
an
moved to
eye-opener.
Evergreen, one of the most beautiful places ever, like home of the normals.
Oh, it is. You know, I live in Sand for 3 years,
Big
and
Bear.
you don't even realize how beautiful it is till you come back here, and it's ridiculous.
All right. Well, Tim, thank you for your phone call. And I don't know how people ever get over that
No, I
stuff.
don't either.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Tim.
No problem.
Okay. Bye.
Thanks, guys.
I wonder if Tim feels any remorse for what he's done to the show.
I don't know. I'm feeling kind of sad.
Me too.
All right, we're going to take a little sidewinder and we'll get back to our guilt, regret, whatever, because Jack gave me a whole thing about how people can use your guilt against you.
Yes, they can.
That's a good one. Well, I'm freezing.
I know. And you're wearing, I believe, a pornography shirt.
Yes, I am wearing a pornography shirt because it was a big sweatshirt in the office.
But it's nice and it doesn't have anything dirty on it. That's the company that sent us porno.
Red light district. I was freezing. All right. I believe, though, tonight, it's Tuesday, right, kids?
Right.
It's Tuesday, so one of my favorite shows is on tonight. I love this show. It's called Showbiz Moms and Dads. We've talked about it before. It's on Bravo. Remember,
Right,
like
oh, yeah.
the little girl
With the spray on tan.
Yeah, and she cries. She doesn't want to get a spray on tan. The little boy that has no talent at all. He's like 13 years old.
That kid makes me sad. And
Shane.
his parents make me sad.
Shane? Yeah, and now his mom has a dance group.
Yep.
Oh.
Did you see the episode, you guys, where they went to, she thinks it's going to be like the Astros Stadium or something. I can't even remember, but some stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, no way. And they show, like, it's really great editing. They show a clip of, like, the whole Coliseum field filled with people and all this stuff. You're like, oh, my God, Shane's going to sing there? Well, it was the county fair was there that weekend.
Oh.
And he sings in a tent for, like, 10 people.
Oh,
It's kind of sad.
poor Shane.
Yeah, he was sad, too. And now she has dancers. She has, like, a workshop. Anyway, we're fascinated by this show.
Yes, we are riveted.
This show and that one where they changed that girl to a guy or the guy to the girl. Those are our favorites.
Female to male, the sex
MTV
change.
show.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this one is on Bravo, and you can see it tonight, 9:10 Eastern Time. Yeah.
Thankfully, we have, because there are some freaks on that show, Showbiz Moms and Dads, that make you sad. You know?
Yeah.
If you look at it. And thankfully, we don't have one of those.
No, we actually have one of the producers. So a normal person. But you have to think he produced the show. How normal is he?
Hey, man, it's a capitalist society. He's a fine American.
It's Randy. Do I say Barbato?
Barbato works.
Barbato! Hi, how are you?
Wait, I'm doing great and wait to see tonight's episode because guess what?
What?
Shane goes to Vegas.
No, he does
Wow!
Stan Smith headlines in Vegas.
He
not.
goes
Shut
to
your
Vegas?
mouth. No, he does not.
You are gonna gag.
And when was the last time? Well, never mind.
Well, you know that we've had the what's his name?
Michael.
Michael is one of our favorite guests on the show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he he trains that little girl that gets the spray on tan. He is fabulous.
Well, tonight's our big finale, and there's lots of surprises.
You hate Michael, don't you?
No, I love Michael. Come on.
Well, it just seemed like we were talking about how great he is, and you moved right past it. You didn't build up one of your guys.
Michael is a star. I mean, he teaches 4-year-olds how to be poised.
Well, yes, he does, doesn't he? That kind of scares me when you say it like that.
A 4-year-old to be poised. I know my 3-year-old is a maniac.
Can you hold on a second? I think we have a little clip. Jack, will you play a little clip of from that show?
Emily loves
The little girl.
the costume. She likes this outfit. She enjoys wearing it. She likes doing the pigtails and having them up like that. It just sometimes hurts when you put the wire in. Hold it. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Suck it up. Thumb, 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 thumb. It's okay.
Now, which part does she enjoy there, Randy?
I remember when I first bought my 9-year-old Isabella, when I got her those breast implants.
Yeah.
She was uncomfortable for a little while, but now she just loves them.
Randy, these people scare me.
Oh, do they all scare you? Come
Not
on.
all of them.
Yeah, they do.
Well, I think that the Mosleys, Jordan Mosley's going to be a big star. And I think tomorrow night we're doing our sort of special edition, and there are a number of surprises. Jordan Barron, I think, is going to surprise you tomorrow
I think the
night.
Barrons are a very hardworking family.
No, they're not. They're retarded, and the dad is gay.
No. They're a hardworking family.
They're a hardworking family,
What
if I
is
remember correctly.
which one is the one?
That's the Nutter Butters or
Oh, the
whatever.
Nutter Butters.
Yeah.
The dad is gay.
The Nutters are a great family.
Yeah.
But the dad is gay.
They are a great family. I think that
Whose dad is a homo.
You know, I'm just taking a shot in the dark here.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was saying I'm just taking a shot in the dark here, but I'm guessing Randy would recognize a gay dad if he saw one.
I think you're taking a shot in the dark there, Daddy, but you're right on.
Thank you, dear.
And so, Randy,
Remember after the show, right?
Yeah.
and so Randy, what about the Nutter Butter dad?
Well, I think the Nutter Butter dad is a star. I think he's sort of there's a little bit of William Hung in there.
Hold on, Randy.
And who hasn't had a little bit of William Hung in?
I think we have like 12 angles on this. Pimping your kids for cash.
Right.
Damaging your children and living vicariously through your kids. We're talking about the Bravo show. It's called Showbiz Moms and Dads. You must watch it tonight. It is on tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern
Now, do you
time.
think it's all negative? Do you think everything about...
I think there's one family that does a really great job. Who is it? It's the little black girl. She's really talented.
Yeah.
And her mom's normal and religious and a good person and all that.
Because, I mean, Isabella does commercials. And I don't think of anything
Well,
about it as... I think the
But you're
only...
pimping the cash.
I think, it goes...
That's what you told
it
us.
goes directly... Yeah, for her. She made a lot of money last year for, like, 4 McDonald's spots.
You're like, dude, I don't care. She makes cash.
And I don't think we ever pimp her out, if you will, in the sense of making her do anything she doesn't want to do, or even go on auditions on days she doesn't feel like it.
No, I don't think you would. I mean, because
So I think there's
you've
some-
lived it. So I,
I
don't
think-
think
yeah.
that you'll force your kid to do that.
I think there are some aspects of it that can be good.
Yeah, like I said, the little black girl, she's talented. Her mom's normal and blah, blah, blah. But there are some, like this one, where the mom, I think, is living so vicariously through her kid because she was a baton twirler or something. And I think she wanted to be, like, I don't know. It's the weirdest thing how you want your kids to be celebrities. And so she's actually lying and saying that people already know him. Nobody knows him. And that he's signing autographs on this. You'll listen to it.
They're trying to make him the new pop idol. That's why they like the little girls coming up. Yeah. This is Shane Kay. He's getting ready to do a new show, and he's getting ready to cut a record. And some of the girls that are coming up, they recognize him already. Yeah.
They don't.
That's just sad.
But she wants it so bad.
So bad, yeah.
More than poor little Shane. Anyway, it's Randy Barbato, and he is one of the producers of this really great show.
Oh, can't you hear the love in her voice?
Oh.
This is a series about love.
Hey, Randy, I got an idea. Let's do a special segment where I come on the show and explain to all the child stars that they're all going to go to rehab.
Well, I was sitting here thinking, Danny, we should get the cameras to your house.
Okay, you know me.
Well, they did it for a baby story.
That was your fault. I still blame you.
Well, here's the thing. First of all, I can't believe that you got these parents to participate and look so foolish and
They don't
so
know.
psychotic.
They don't know they look foolish. That's the thing I've noticed about foolish people. They don't get that they're foolish. They think they're perfectly normal.
Well, I think the reality is that we're all dysfunctional. We're all crazy, and it's just surprising when you see something on TV that is truly catches people off guard, and it makes us feel better about ourselves because we think, oh my God, maybe there's someone crazier than us. But if you think about if you had a camera following you around 24 hours a day, and then we got to edit it,
Right.
You think of how crazy you would look.
Oh, now, let me ask you this. Have you had anybody complain that and not to get anybody in trouble or anything, but have you had anybody complain that this is like borderline child abuse to these kids?
No, and I know that one family has had some difficult times, but like child abuse is neglect. None of these parents neglect their kids. We may question what they're doing.
So you don't believe, let me ask you this. So you don't believe a parent that forces their kid into pageants and spray painting all these chemicals all over a 5-year-old and putting makeup on her and putting fake eyelashes on her and gluing her together and putting fake nails on her and she's crying, you don't think that could be construed as abuse?
Sweetie, you don't want to be pasty for the pageant.
For God's sake. You know, I wondered how the hell you were going to answer that, and you couldn't have been better.
But, I mean, he's saying it's neglect. I think that overzealousness can be the abuse.
Yeah, I think it can. I know, like I said, though, or like Randy said, rather, if you're following a family around 24 hours a day and then you have the elective of editing, you can make it appear as you wish.
I got to tell you, when we cast these families, I mean, obviously we were looking for great, colorful characters like the Klangen Smiths and Duncan Nutter, but also, and this is absolutely true, all these families really, the parents really love their kids. And I know it sounds so like, Hallmark and warm and fuzzy. I think you really get some of that, particularly in tomorrow night's episode, where you get to understand some of the things that you know.
That we didn't get to see.
Yeah, so,
But, like Mr. Nutter, who, likes the Nutters, by the way, in my opinion, he so wants to be a star more than his kids. His kids could give a rat's ass.
I know, and some of them could be stars, I think.
But, but that to me is a little abusive that, the parent wants to be the star and he's like, y'all got to go to these auditions. They don't want to go.
I would rather have a showbiz mom than a soccer mom. But, that's me.
See, I'd rather have a soccer mom than a showbiz mom.
I'd rather do the pageants than be on the soccer
I would
field.
rather fill up a water bottle and take my lawn chair and sit there and cheer for the Reds than sit there and put makeup and fake nails and spray paint and all this stuff.
Oh, my God, I would so much rather get spray-painted suntan than have to do push-ups.
Of course you would.
So would I.
But you get to slide. I was going to say something after that. I said, pull back, Jamie, pull back.
There you go.
So I did, which was amazing, but yet left me hanging.
You hardly ever see it.
Well, you're the one wearing the porno shirt, not me.
That is true.
Only because it's cold.
It's cold. All right, so tonight we're going to see the final episode, right?
Yep.
And it's a great show.
A special edition, and you'll laugh, you'll cry, it'll become a part of you.
Tomorrow night, the special edition where we actually get to see what these people think about their lives being, revealed, I guess.
It is really, I got to tell you that no matter how you feel about it, it's a compelling show.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's crazy. It's crazy.
Sure.
I feel bad for that little Emily. Are we going to find out where these families are now?
Yeah. And it's pretty moving. And I do think, in addition to having a few William Hungs, there are a couple stars that will emerge out of this series, including Duncan Nutter, of course.
Of course.
Oh, please don't. Please.
Well, it's a great show. It's
on Bravo.
They're doing some great work, those guys.
Bravo tonight, and then the special tomorrow night. Thanks so much, my darling.
All right.
All right.
See you, Randy.
Later, Randy. Don't be pasty. Bye.